Hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the Chan Chan. It's your boy Kit coming at you live to embarrass themselves. So things I do on my channel. I cover stuffed animals like Disney, Squishmallows, Build-A-Bears, Care Bears, Beanie Babies, you name it. And then another thing I do on my channel is I do story times where I talk about things like I was homeless, or I almost died, or I was almost an extra on a John Travolta movie. Um, and then my main other thing. I don't know why I said main other things. I don't do it as a main thing, but it's one of my other like series that I do, which is reading the My Immortal fan fiction. I have a total of like 10 parts now. I figure since we're on the cringe train with the My Immortal, I give you a little deep dive into my brain in 2008. Hate that I'm doing this. Hate that I'm doing. I stumbled across and I found there was this feature on Facebook that used to allow you to write notes and publish them. And a lot of like what I did with my friends is that we would publish our class schedules in our notes, so like all of our friends could see it, comment, and be like, "Oh, I have like eighth period, and then I have lunch with you," and blah 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 blah. So yeah, there was that, and then I also wrote really bad poetry and or short stories that I feel like we need to deep dive into this. So we're gonna do it. This was posted in 2008. Um, I was, I think at this time, based off the date, it was my sixth grade year. So it was like the beginning portion of my sixth grade year, I believe. So I was probably about like 12. Am I doing the math right? Okay, I was doing the math right. I was 12 at the time. Okay, anyways. So, yeah, so the story is called Miss You. Um, and we're gonna get into this. I held onto this little photo held onto this little picture and stared deeply into it. For a while now, I couldn't agree with what they told me. How you are gone. And I didn't listen because I saw you right before it happened. I just think about it. I think it was a lie. I held onto the picture tighter and tighter, and I began to cry. I couldn't help myself but fall into this weak state because it happened like that. Gone from this world and gone to another world. I cried harder and louder. At this point, my mom came to my dark room and held on to me, telling me everything's all right. I nodded and I wiped my eyes and I got up to go for a walk. For an odd reason, everything reminded me of you, like the trees, the houses, the children. And I just held the tears as I walked. I stopped near a creek on which it happened. The newspaper said a car was driving down north on Route 79 when another car came in the wrong lane and hit them head on. The other car flipped and landed into the creek. The other car was the one with you. You were sitting in the front seat. I stood there, watching the cops take care of cleaning everything. I held onto my chest, and I walked to the creek, and I saw one thing they didn't pick up. It was your cell phone. I took it. You had 4 messages, and I realized you were in the middle of a text. It was for me. I thought, and then I knew you weren't driving. It was your older brother, who was wounded very badly. The message was saying how much he loves me and hopes to see that again. The messages were saying how much he loves me and hopes to see me and him having a wonderful life and live happily ever after together. I stood there and I smiled. I pulled the phone close to my heart and I cried. You were my silly friend, a boy who never knew the words give up or forget it. You were always able to make someone smile and laugh when they don't wanna. And somehow you could make me fall for you. As I walked home through the forest, I stopped and I heard a voice that I knew. It sounded just like you, and when I turned around, I saw a child who looked just like you. I cried and I smiled. The young boy was real, but he didn't know me, nor I didn't know him. He smiled and told me not to cry. I nodded and I smiled at him. He told me how he lost his parents when he was only 2 years old, and he lives with his grandma. And he told me he does miss his parents, but at the same time he told me they're in a better place and that a God is taking care of them. I nodded. I thanked the boy and ran off. I walked into my house and I sat on my bed and I realized You are now being taken care of by a God, and soon I know I will die. All humans will die, and I can't hide that. So when that day comes, I know you and I will see each other again. I turned to that picture and I smiled. I can't wait to see you again, I said, before I went to bed. Now that cringy thing that I wrote is not based off of anybody. It's not based off of any story that I read, not any actual persons that passed away, nothing. I was just in a weird, angsty 12-year-old mood and decided to write a story about as if a friend died that I actually loved. And then I paired it up with at the very bottom, and I'm not going to show it to you, of a picture of two anime characters from the anime Shogo Chara. It's a magical girl anime, and it has the main girl, Amu, and Ikuto, yeah. So I was, really into that, so I think that's where I played a lot of inspiration from it. I don't know, but I just know it's cringe, and that was very vulnerable of me just opening that up. I mean, it is online, and, my friends have seen it, my family has seen it, but, I don't read my work to people. I do write fan fiction online on, Archive of Our Own, Wattpad, fanfiction.net, over the years, but, and I read off those sites as well. But, I've never read something that I've written like this out loud. And I don't also like reading my own fan fiction that I personally write out loud or to other people that I know. So, this was real personal for me to do and, real serious. But anyways, I'm gonna dip. It's been fun hanging out with you guys. But, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys later, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Next time, you'll catch me reading fanfiction. Is it gonna be Clance or is it gonna be Finpo? I don't know. Bye, guys. Mwah.